Welcome to Bud's Beer Blurb, the podcast that's all foam and no filler.
Hello everyone, I'm Bud Esty, and welcome to episode 7 of our podcast. On this episode, we have Adam Delaura and Sean Gaura from Labyrinth Brewing Company in Manchester, Connecticut. They'll be discussing what's going on at Labyrinth these days, reviewing a beer with us, and then the tables get turned and they start to interview us. Nick and I will be reviewing Dogfish Head's Wide Stout, and also one of Nick's classic, I doubt we're gonna like this, but what the heck beers. This one's called Chips and Dip, and it's a collaboration from Tox Brewing and Little House Brewing. We'll see how that one goes. So, grab a cold one, kick back, and let's dive into all the happenings of hops, malts, and brewing. Right here on Bud's Beer Blurb, the podcast.
And now, Bud's Beer Blurb presents Hops 101.
On this edition of Hops 101, we present to you BRU-1. BRU-1 hops have a big, bold, fruit-forward character in both taste and aroma. Boasting an alpha acid content of 13 to 15%, this hop offers a clean bittering attribute. BRU-1 also has a high myrcene oil content that makes up over 50% of its total oils, which contributes to the aromas of pineapple, stone fruit, and a soft spice. When used in a whirlpool or as a dry hop addition, BRU-1 delivers a boatload of pineapple and green fruit aromas. BRU-1 is synergistic with other hops, creating a depth of fruit flavors. The breeder of BRU-1 says that it pairs well with Citra, Chinook, and other U.S. aroma varieties. One brewer stated that you can pair BRU-1 with Sabro for a Pina Colada New England IPA. I say, pass that beer over to me. In some brewing applications, BRU-1 has actually been shown to improve the haze stability in certain beers. You know, achieving true pineapple flavor can be a bit challenging, and that's what makes BRU-1 such an incredible find. It's versatile, complex, and offers consistent flavor outcomes, which makes this little hop a great addition to your brewing toolkit. Well, that's all the time we have, but be sure to come back for more of the most epic hops info around.
Okay, we're back, and we have in the studio with us Adam Delaura and Sean Gaura. Guys, thank you so much for coming all the way out here. I really appreciate it. We're going to talk about Labyrinth, of course, but we're going to talk about what's going on right now with Labyrinth.
I was going to say, it's nice to finally actually meet you two.
That's right.
I've been up there. I've heard nothing but good things about you guys, but I haven't actually met either of you until today.
Yep. Yeah. I brought him there for his first time a few weeks back, and we had some good beers, of course.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like I said, I want to talk about what's going on with you guys now, maybe your future plans. Let's start right out with you guys. You got a pizza place at the brewery now.
Yeah, we certainly do. Around, I think it was like right before Thanksgiving of last year, we opened up our pizza kitchen on site with our partners, Ritual Pizza Co.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been amazing on a lot of levels.
Yeah, I reviewed one of those pizzas. It was fantastic. The mushroom pizza.
Oh, God, yeah.
He put me in a headlock till I tried it, but I'm glad he did. That was fantastic pizza.
Yeah, the shroom pie is awesome. I would say the top seller right now is the pepperoni pie with hot honey. Yeah, yep. You get that sweetness from the honey and the spiciness from the peppers that are infused in it.
Well, how did you come across these guys?
Crazy story is these three humans, they wanted to make their own whatever, pizza place, food truck, something or other. And so they were like, all right, I got to find some breweries to do some pop-ups at. We want to do some events. Well, one of their first pop-up event was in our parking lot, like under like a little 10 by 10 tent, making, cooking some pies off this little it was a really minimal setup. Like those guys had a lot of passion, kind of reminded me of when we were first getting started, like home brewing and all this jazz. They just happened to be right place, right time. They did a few events. We were like, all right, these guys are kind of cool. We were looking at other kitchen partners. We had a few irons in the fire. Those didn't work out. And then these dudes just happened to be ready to make the jump to a brick and mortar place. And we were looking for a partner. And it's just like the stars collided and boom, it worked.
They are really nice guys, too. I've chatted with them on several occasions because, first thing you walk through the door, there they are.
Oh, yeah.
And I always make the mistake of, hey, guys, can I have this kind of pizza? And they look at me and go, sure, if you go to the bar and order it. Okay. So any plans with them beyond where they're at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, their main focus is pizza. So one of the plans is to sort of expand that menu. They're working on some smaller plates. I know they've got like a couple mac and cheese dishes, and they're doing like a garlic bread kind of thing. And I'm often sitting in the office, and something just happens to be placed next to me in the office. And they're like, hey, we're experimenting with this. Try it. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is delicious, right?
Wow.
So I guess like the first thing would be like that expansion of the menu to other than pizza products. I mean, obviously, pizza's amazing. I mean, why would you eat anything else? But clearly, having other options is a good idea, right?
Yeah.
One should not eat pizza every day, but I do it. So, and then also having them in-house helps us with, if we wanted to do outside events, we're not ready for this yet, but say you were getting married and you rented a location and you needed somebody to provide drinks and food, that is something that we're working on getting that, basically like the infrastructure together to make that happen.
Wow.
So we could take the Labyrinth show on the road.
Sounds like I'm just going to get married for that one reason now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nothing else.
I mean, I've been married a few times myself. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's throw a party, all right? That's it.
Polygamy legal up here?
That's right, yeah. So, yeah.
So is there going to be like a beer to match one of their pizzas they pair?
Yeah, I think we could certainly, we've been throwing a lot of ideas on collaboration that way, so will you see something in the future where, it's like a Ritual Labyrinth collab beer and a Ritual Labyrinth collab pizza? You bet.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Right. And it draws people in when they see, this is something new and unique. Hey,
sure.
Coming out of the same place, that'd be really neat. So I got to ask this, though. Turbo Love Juice, the triple. We going to see that again soon?
I currently don't have any plans to put the triple out there, but I may have some plans, or we may have some plans to go a little higher than the triple again, like we have in the past. So that might be in the works for later this year, possibly around the end of August.
Okay. You mean like about the time your anniversary comes around?
That could be it. Yeah.
So I have to spill the beans here. We're talking about quadruple Love Juice.
Yeah.
And that stuff is amazing. That's one of the best IPAs. I mean, the triple is really awesome. I think I scored that somewhere like a 4.5, which you get in the fours with me is really difficult. But the quad was just, wow. Amazing
Making my mouth
beer.
water. Come on,
right? It's so good. It is such a good beer.
I'm just more impressed you're able to score after having one.
That
was the reason he doesn't do after the beer with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that segment. I got to focus on that a little bit better. But the brewery itself, now. I mean, I asked about future plans for
Ritual.
Yeah, Ritual Pizza and things like that. And thank you, Nick. This is why he's here, okay? Keeps my brain going. But the brewery itself, you've done so much since you opened. And I was at your grand opening party. Your brother, Norm Delaura, he said, hey, my brother's, opening a brewery. Come on down. So Heather and I went down there on the grand opening party. So I've been with you guys since the beginning. But you've also you have the outside porch area. Are you calling it a porch?
See, I tell people it's a covered and heated deck, and then that, I think that's a better visual because people are like, "What's a mezzanine?" And I'm like, "Well, never mind. It's
right next to the foyer."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But mezzanine sounds better for Labyrinth and the mystical aspects of Labyrinth. But beyond that, where are you bringing the brewery?
That's a good question. I will tell you, last year was the year of adding tons of amenities, right? So we already talked about that kitchen, which came last year. That covered and heated deck opened up, almost a year ago, right? So it was like early spring, late winter of last year. And I mean, when those heaters are roaring, you can totally chill out there when it's cold. So it's like those things. And then we also amended our liquor license last year so that we, instead of just the beers, we've got a restaurant liquor permit now. So it's just adding all those things. And, that was last year. I think this year, at least on the taproom side of things, right? Just like on an in-house sort of thing, we are really hitting special events really hard.
Great.
So we just had a really successful book fair. We did a grand opening of the Ritual Pizza Place. We had a bunch of vendors come out, and I mean, both of those events were mobbed. We've been getting back into doing a lot more live music and just a lot of creative events. Labyrinth has always been a fun, cool place to hang out. We're just trying to bring that to the next level, right? And just think about a variety of events to bring all kinds of people in there.
Cool. Yeah, that is. Yeah, and you usually have something fun going on.
Oh, sure.
There's always something going on with look at your Facebook or your Instagram and
trivia, open mic, jazz, jazz Sundays, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So vinyl night,
I keep thinking about your open mic. I'm gonna sometime I'll get up there eventually.
Absolutely. Come on, you got to come on down and play something.
I'll strongly consider it myself.
So the guys brought us a little gift here, and Sean, tell me about this.
So that is Kawato. It's a beer that we come out with every March since our first year. It's an Imperial Red Ale. That's the name Kawato, if you're familiar with Total Recall.
Yes.
Pretty much. So basically this is a pretty strong beer, 9.2%. This particular one, though, we have had in rye barrel for it was slightly less than a year, but you could probably call it a year at that point. And we blended it back with some that we had put aside that was not in a rye barrel, sort of kind of mellow the barrel a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now we have it bottle conditioned, and we're looking to put it out there soon.
And you just bottled this, 13 days ago, you said?
13 days ago, yeah.
So when they handed it to me, they said, let it sit a little longer because, it's bottle conditioning. And totally understand that.
You can open it up any time. That's fine.
Well, I'll let it sit a little longer. Nick and I will do a review in a few weeks on that one because I haven't tried that one, And there's obviously, you guys have a lot more beers out that I didn't even realize you had. I go to the Amazing Grapes. You have an account with them.
Yep.
And every now and then I'll be looking and I'll say, hey, whoa, what's that from Labyrinth? I'm going to try and get them to get you on a higher shelf, though.
So nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting, and it's not going to be putting you on the spot. But I want to do a beer review with you. I have a beer. It's going to be a mystery beer in terms of what brewery made it. If you give your opinion, it's completely non-biased because you don't even know where it came from. I will say this. It's not from your brewery.
Okay.
All right. But also, it's not from a Connecticut brewery.
All right.
But why don't we describe what you're about to taste? You guys are good with this?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I like.
Oh, you like beer?
Yeah, I was going to say.
No kidding.
I enjoy beer, so I'm not going to say no.
All right. So other than giving you the name, I'm going to give you the description of the beer. Blank Beer is a triple IPA and a supersized version of their flagship beer. It's brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops. This triple IPA has waves of flavors and aromas of citrus zest, dank cannabis, peaches, mango, and papaya. The ABV on this triple IPA is 10%, and it's only available occasionally. So, why don't we pull out this beer? Nice. This one was full. Look at this. It's everywhere. Certain breweries, they need to calibrate their machines because they're just too full. All right, so.
How do you get too full of beer?
Well, when it splashes out all over the place like this.
Yeah, just lick it up.
It gets to be a little bit crazy. I'm going to pour some samples for us and hand them out. Now, Nick has no idea what this beer is either.
Oh, nice.
So this is brand new to him, too. And this is actually a brand new beer for me. I've never tasted this one yet. So we'll all be giving our
cheater
opinion. I'm sorry, I'm just pouring. I'm not trying to make everything nice and even and
I don't care.
fair.
I do enjoy these small steins myself.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, let's see what the nose says.
I definitely don't really smell that dank they were talking about. Are you catching that at all?
The cannabis?
Yeah, I'm not.
That'll be in the flavor more than the aroma.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you're going to say.
I definitely get a lot of peach on the nose, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's very sweet.
Yeah, I can smell the sweet.
Yeah.
It's not a strong scent, though, but...
You always have that citrus because, Citra hops, and they're obviously going to present nicely.
Let me just stick my whole nose in it.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. There's a lot of peach in there, a lot of stone fruit. Smells good.
Nice, yeah.
Doesn't that smell nice?
I do like that color.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's give it a taste. No, that's where the cannabis starts to
Yep,
come out.
I was just, you beat me to it.
It's not very dank. I would call this slightly dank. It's more sweet than dank.
I can feel the dank in the back of my throat, definitely.
What are you catching? See, these are the experts here. I really want to hear what they...
It really puts me on the spot to think about stuff. I'm just
Well, I mean,
that little voice in my head, don't say anything dumb. You know?
don't
It's
worry.
really familiar. Is that what I'm trying to...
Oh, you're trying to figure out who...
Yeah, it's really familiar.
Okay.
The description, I'm like, God, that sounds so familiar.
Don't do that. Don't try to figure out what it is. Just tell me how you like it.
Now, I like the smoothness of it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times these higher alcohol beers have a harsh, like alcohol fusel kind of character, like you're sort of drinking something that belongs in your car, like fueling your vehicle. That is not the case.
I like the harshness. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the smoothness, but the smoothness is dangerous. Don't know where you are by the end of the day.
Yeah, that's when you have one, you're like, oh, God.
Why am I speaking in italics?
Yeah, I kind of like that. It's in between sort of a New England, but more of a traditional IPA with the bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely has some bitterness to it, which I personally enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of that in
My man.
So.
I don't like West Coast. That bitter to me, for like if I'm going to grab something to drink, I'm not going to grab a West Coast. I'll rate a West Coast according to what it is, but I'm not going to grab one and drink it. It's just not my thing. I like the sweet New England beers. They captured my attention, and I haven't let go yet.
I'm a simple creature. I like everything pretty much, except too sweet. Too sweet's a little much, but other than that, I'm simple.
I'd say this doesn't seem over the top from a sweetness perspective, which is easy to happen at like your higher alcohol beers, higher alcohol IPAs. It's really easy to get sort of really cloying and overwhelming.
Right.
And
I mean, I wouldn't say no if you served this to me at a party.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be like, oh God, where's the potted plant for me to splash this into when Bud's not looking?
Right?
Am I the potted plant?
I'm going to pour this down, Nick. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, it seems pretty balanced between Citra and Mosaic. Like, it's not overly heavy in either direction.
Right.
It makes
a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. I like it, but my rating system, I'm definitely hard on the ratings because, face it, IPAs, there's a gazillion of them out there. And unless one shines, it doesn't hit the fours for me. This I would call 3 3/4. Nick?
I'm at 3 1/4, actually.
Wow. Okay.
It's good, but nothing special about it.
Doesn't stand out to you. Okay. Fellas, you want to put a number on this, or you...
I mean, I gave up putting numbers on
Yeah, I
things.
was going to say, it's been a long time since I added any bottle caps to Untappd.
The minute we
trying to avoid
start opening, the minute we start opening up, done rating stuff.
Okay.
Just as
but
it's a good beer.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I definitely say that it's a good beer. I enjoy, again, like I said, I enjoy the bitterness that's in there, which that's always, the bitterness in any beer can be divisive,
Right. Absolutely.
People, but
okay. Well, I can respect your position. That, and, Sean, you're telling me it tastes familiar, sounds familiar. I don't know if I want to rate this. I know these people. And you might. Who knows? You could possibly know the Burlington Beer Company.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I've had a lot of good luck with them, though. And I went and I found this one. This is called Intangible Tides. It's their triple IPA. And again, it's only available once in a while. I would suggest if you're a New England IPA drinker, get this. Try it. It's really good. I like it. I like it more than Nick, which is, wow.
Yeah, it's a weird turn of events.
It really is.
But again, not finding it special.
Right. I agree with that because if it was in a lineup, it would have got away with the crime because I wouldn't have been able to pick it out. But I do like it. And I love their artwork. I mean, don't get me wrong. You guys, you're artists. I don't know who you use, but they're incredible unless you use a few of them.
It's been a few people.
Yeah. Your artwork is great. I love the simplicity of their artwork, of Burlington's artwork. Their artist is fantastic. So I asked the guys to do something different. This is the first time this is going to be happening on the Blurb here. I don't know if any other podcast has ever done this, but you guys are the guests, and I asked you if you had any questions for us. So kind of like turn the table and you ask the questions.
Sure. Bud, so this is a question that we get all the time, which I appreciate you did not ask us this question since we've said it a million times already. But What was your inspiration for starting this podcast? How did you get started with this? And what were some initial challenges when you first got into this?
You're getting complicated now.
I'm sorry.
We'll go part A.
I'm a very complicated person. I'm sorry.
So I worked for the Department of Correction for 22 years. I retired and I started working with my brothers doing, kitchen remodeling and bathroom remodeling. And then I had an accident and I broke my hip. I'm not talking about an old man, fell down and broke his hip. I fell off a building. I had a pretty major surgery and it's left me different. Can't work a job per se, but I have a nice pension coming in, so I'm not worried about the money. When I was starting to recover and getting bored, I was trying to find things to do. And eventually my wife came to me and said, hey, bud, beer. Why don't you talk about beer? Start working on, I started doing the social media thing. And possibly even do home brewing classes on YouTube or something like that. And this is the same woman that said, the bar that you're sitting in right now, this is her idea. She said, we got this open space, bud. Why don't you build a bar? I'm not worthy. But yeah, my wife is really super cool. She's my best friend, and she came up with the idea for this. The first challenge, figuring out what the heck to do and getting equipment to do it, and then finding my niche and trying to get it off the ground. It has gotten off the ground. Nick came in and it really started to take off. It must be all those muscles of his. I don't know.
Thank you.
But Nick brings in a different flavor, and so it's taking off now. And we hope to see 10,000 followers by this time next year.
That would be awesome,
right?
That's super cool. What advice would you give to somebody if somebody was just getting into craft beer right now and they were like, oh man, I really love this. Maybe I want to blog about it or make videos or TikToks or whatever young people are doing now. What advice would you give that person?
Don't do it.
Oh,
that's okay. We've given that same advice. So
people are like, I want to start a brewery. We're like, nah, no, you don't do it. Keep that insurance company job.
Right?
Say don't quit your day job.
Yeah,
right? I still have mine.
Yeah, so, man.
You got to find, again, your niche. You got to know something about beer. If you don't know anything about beer, then maybe that's what you need to do for a while, is go to breweries, learn about beer, talk to people about, talk to the brewers. You guys know, I've come to you and I've talked to you many times about, what you're doing with this and where you're going with that. But, if you're going to get into that, you're going to have to set your social medias, and then you're going to have to plug and try and get people's attention, and make sure that you're, following other people in the same niche that you're in, and work with them, network with them,
That's been one of our biggest strengths, is our networking with others. It's not a competition. I mean, we're all doing the same thing.
Right.
I've noticed that with even breweries, it's more of a family than anything. You're not knocking on each other's doors like, you bastard, yours is better than mine, or anything like that. It's not how it works.
We've worked with other podcasters and, beer influencers, and we're not competing with them. I want to bring them up with me or have them help bring me up in some way. So that's where I'm at.
Nice. Yeah.
No, that's great. What's all right? So
he's got more questions.
He
wrote this down
about all the questions people have asked me over the time. I'm usually the one when someone's like, "Oh, we're going to do an interview." I'm like, "Oh God,
I'm holding a basic one inside." So.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's loving this.
Oh boy. So what's next for the Beer Blurb? Like, what we know what you've done thus far. We know where your followers are and the kinds of content you're putting out. What is the next thing? How are you growing this year? Where are you going to be at the end of this year?
Right. Well, the main focus is going to be the podcast.
Nice.
And trying to get it out on many different platforms. And that's my hardest point right now is getting all these different platforms, because not everybody wants to listen to iTunes. Not everybody wants to listen to Amazon. A lot of people just don't even want to deal with YouTube. So I need to get on all the platforms so that we're there. The big thing that we're doing, though, right now, and I'm working with, Amazing Grapes is my jump point for this project that we're doing. We're creating a beer database. And what's going to happen is when you go to, hopefully what's going to happen is you go to an Amazing Grapes and you'll see all the different craft beers that they have. And you'll see their price tag. And right next to their price tag will be a QR code that we have created. And what will happen is you can scan that and it'll bring you to the beer that the QR code represents. And you will get quick information about that beer. How it was made, what's in it.
Nice.
ABV, things like that, and it'll all be tied to Bud's Beer Blurb. They are letting me move forward. I'm still, on thin ice with this, but and building the database is going to be, wow, that's a lot of work. But that's where we're going next, and hopefully that'll move us into other package stores and maybe even like a brewery or two.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, wink.
We might know a couple.
Yeah. All right.
I know a couple package stores that would probably let us continue down that road too. So
it's a lot of work, but I like I said, I'm retired, and this is what I do. I do social media. I'm a social media manager for Amazing Grapes, and also for Growler Power. That little device sitting over there. I know you've seen it before and met those guys.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
They pulled me in, and
the QR code bring up our faces.
Oh God, Nick!
Oh my God! Yeah, imagine like an animated Bud or Nick talking to you about the stuff like this is made with citron. That's mosaic.
Almost like that animation in Jurassic Park.
Talking
about.
Yeah.
Any other questions there, Adam? Because
I've got a real basic one,
okay.
and I would say as you both got into craft beer, if you were to sort of gravitate towards a beer that always felt like home, no matter when you grabbed it, what beer would that be?
Go ahead, Nick.
That's a tough one. I mean, because there's my original favorite beer, which was the Sam Adams Cherry Wheat, which I still love that beer, guilty pleasure of mine. But that's a pretty tough one to think of my main go-to, because I don't really have a niche flavor. I like everything for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So let me think real hard.
It's like something that never lets you down. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Well, the thing is, there's a bunch of those. I mean, like the, what is it, the double Citra.
Well, you love everything from Armada.
Well, those Labyrinth guys, they do no wrong.
Hey.
I'm trying to think of like a one go-to, but I cycle through what I like. I mean,
it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, constantly. That's one of the reasons I like the package stores in my town. It's the same thing. I mean, Raging Bitch maybe would be it.
Flying Dog, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think 12%.
I think that might be it, honestly, because it has a bit of all the right spots for me to go to, and I'm like, I kind of want this, kind of this, but you know what?
Actually, no, that Raging Bitch.
Raging is 8.3%.
Yeah, you brought the Double Dog here once.
Yeah.
That was a 12%.
That would be a go-to if I didn't have to wake up early every day. I would go with Raging Bitch.
Yeah, that's pretty old school.
Okay.
That's good.
Me, Triple Love Juice. I love that. And I'll also say Bitch Slap by Almost Famous.
Okay.
That was a very, very good beer. That was the highest rated beer from me that they make. And I love Jim, and Bitch Slap is a good beer. So those are actually my two go-tos, really.
Nice.
Anything else, Sean?
That's all I really had, just, kind of curious, I like to see, like, if it's old school or newer school, sort of.
It took me about an hour to answer, so that helps.
No, it's great.
I'll speed it up. Don't worry.
I went through high school drinking Peace Wicked. Of course,
really?
I was of age in high school, of course, too.
How many times did you stay back?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Delaura and Sean Gaura, Labyrinth Brewing. Make sure you get there.
Hop into Flavor Town with the best beer hops company. Our hops are so good, beers beg to be brewed with them.
I just can't get enough of these hops.
Best Hops Company, we're turning homebrews into legends.
Okay, we're back, and hey, Nick has brought us another beer. Nick, what are you bringing us?
So this is the Dogfish Head Worldwide Stout.
Oh my.
And what this is a very dark beer brewed with a ridiculous amount of barley. And this behemoth of a stout is rich, roasty, and complex with notes of espresso and toasted cacao.
Yes.
I definitely didn't just read that off the side. This one is a 15.5%.
Oh my. 15.5? Oh, we could drink a 6-pack of these,
Oh,
right?
easily.
Yeah, each.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, well, I'm excited. It's March. We have St. Patrick's Day coming up. Just recording this just before St. Patrick's Day, and of course, St. Patty's Day. Stouts.
Yep. So Perfect timing.
All right. Well, then let's crack this one open. You ready?
Hold on, I gotta take the walk of shame.
Okay. And
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get it, but noise.
noise. Yeah. Okay. My cap's flying. It's okay. We haven't even had this beer yet, and it's already feeling like we did. Oh, you got it? Good job, Nick.
I had to cheat.
Yeah, no, you didn't use your teeth, so you're good.
I was just about there.
All right, well, let's see what the nose says.
Firing on all cylinders right now.
Whoa. Holy moly, that has got a lot of aroma.
Yes, it does, and none of it bad.
Oh, that does smell good. That is dark. That is dreamy. That is sweet.
Just like my ex-boyfriend.
Okay. I didn't like him, so anyway, I hope I like the beer better. All right, well, I'm catching, of course, the coffee. That's the stout.
The cacao.
Yeah,
Cacao.
that nice and that nice roasty aroma, but very sweet. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's not like a milk sugar sweet or peanut butter milkshake type sweet. It just has that roasty sweet.
Yep, yeah, and that's definitely probably from that toasted cacao in there.
Damn, you can't stop saying that, can you? Let's give it a taste. Holy.
That is good.
My mouth just immediately started watering. Okay, you can taste the alcohol.
Oh, 100%. But it's not like... It's not a kick, though. It's
a flavor.
Oh, yeah.
It's not burning. It's just, wow.
And it's like an additive to it. It's not... That's good.
Okay, a lot of coffee, toffee flavor. Deep, dark, roasted, almost burnt grains kind of taste, but not in a bad way.
No, I can feel that sitting at the back of my mouth right now, and it's pleasant.
Yeah, and it is sweet, but
this is a nice campfire beer, that's for sure.
Really,
to me, yeah, it's not. It doesn't taste heavy to me. It just.
No, that's the thing. I agree. This is not a very heavy stout. It goes down smooth. This is very, very nice. Wow, 15.5 though.
15.5.
There may not be an after the beer.
Can I be the big spoon?
Wow, that's good. Okay, Dogfish head. I'm gonna go 3 3/4.
4.
4.
I'm at a 4.
4. Nice.
What's that cacao?
That is tasty. All right. Well, we're gonna drink this. We should probably eat something with it.
See where we're getting up.
And we'll be back with After the Beer. Okay, this is After the Beer. We have the beer that Nick brought us, and it is the Dogfish Head Wide Stout. He gave us a description of it right off the bottle. And we have drank almost an entire pint of it. And we're about to have the last sip. You ready, Nick?
Yes, I am.
The last sip. It's delicious, dude.
It's so good.
It really is. I came in at, what, 3.5?
I think you were 3 3/4.
3 3/4? Really?
I believe so. I know it's a strong beer, so.
You're right. We're at 15.5, and we sucked this thing down kind of quickly because, we want to get right back to recording. So, yeah. Okay, so I was 3 3/4?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm a 4 now.
That was, and I was sitting at a 4 before, but.
Right.
I'm staying right there.
Dude, this is delicious. Thank you for bringing it.
So good.
So, this beer is got a beautiful sweet toffee. I'm going to say more toffee than coffee.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the roasted deep dark color and flavor is just amazing. Dogfish Head has always been a great brewery, but this is stupendous.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to, again, with the color, that was just such a nice dark.
It's so dark.
It's beautiful.
It's darker than my wife's coffee, and she drinks John Wayne coffee. One of those French press things. Anyway, the alcohol is affecting me. So yeah, I'm at 4. You're at 4.
I'm at 4.
And this is After the Beer. So, Nick has another beer that he brought for us. And this is the beer that, I don't know, Nick likes to buy beers that he's pretty sure neither one of us are going to like. Or it's just a weird beer.
I like to be surprised is what it is.
Okay, I can go with that.
We spend so much time prowling for, something we think is going to be great. So
that's a good way to put it.
I want something that's going to be, it might not be great, but we'll see.
Tell them what you got in your hand.
So this is from Tox Brewing, which
great brewery,
yeah, fantastic
brewery,
in collaboration with Little House Brewing.
And actually, I've been there. Great brewery,
exactly. But this is called Chips and Dip. And there's a cute little pug on the front. I'm an absolute sucker for pugs.
Oh, not me.
But,
no. They ran into a parked car. Go ahead.
Anyways, this is a sour ale brewed with mango, hot peppers, key lime, lime zest, tortilla chips, and sea salt.
Come on!
It's only 6.5 alcohol percent, which, is
yeah,
pretty low for us.
You know what? Anything that's above a 6 is respectable.
But apparently I'm supposed to roll this before I...
Oh, not a roll beer.
I've got a roller here.
We just got through with Sean and Adam, and that was one of the things that Adam said. Oh, it's a roll beer.
Those are the Labyrinth.
Yeah, the Labyrinth brothers. Okay, we'll call them brothers. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So what's it called again?
This is called Chips and Dip.
Chips and Dip.
So let's see what we got here.
All right, open it up. Nice. I think that's the first one we did properly this day.
I'm just gonna hand it over before you even start the pour. Just that's interesting.
Wait. I'm sorry, Tox. I shouldn't do that.
It's
I'm not sure about this, Nick. Go ahead. You go ahead for it. Oh, God. I need to know how many of you out there, put it in the comments section, please, have had a beer that's named similar to Chip and Dip and has these kind of ingredients. It's a sour, right?
It's a sour. I mean, that initial sniff, I didn't smell it, but honestly, where I bought this as a single. He said it's pretty liked. That most people are raving about it. So
yeah, well, we showed this to Adam and Sean, and Adam said that he actually has one in his refrigerator. He hasn't drank it yet, but he heard that this thing was extremely popular.
Yeah, that's what I kept hearing. So I guess we're pretty past this, but
dude,
we'll see what the nose says.
Look at this. No. Before you get to the nose, look at this. It looks like orange juice.
It does.
It looks like slightly diluted orange juice. That's oh, God. All right, let's see what the nose says.
I mean,
okay.
It smells like the picture on the front, honestly, minus the pug.
Okay, so the first thing my nose picks up is that, yes, it's definitely a sour. And
I can smell the hot peppers.
And then something like potato?
That's probably the tortilla chips.
Yeah, maybe. Corn, yeah. That's so weird.
It's a very interesting flavor. It's If it was a food, this would be... I know, my mouth would be watering, but we'll see what happens.
Let's give it a taste. Oh, no. All I can taste is the jalapenos. It's jalapeno, right?
I don't even know.
It says hot peppers, so I'm guessing jalapeno or habanero. And that's all I can taste. sour, and habanero or jalapeno peppers. I'm sorry, this is not a beer I can drink.
No, this is definitely not for me either. For what they hit the mark and what they were going for, though. That's for sure.
As advertised, absolutely, they hit it. Let's take another taste. Yep. You ready?
Nope.
I'm so sorry, Tox. I love you guys. You produce some wonderful beers. And Little House, I've been to you guys. You were so gracious, and your beers are great. But this, I'm not even going to rate it.
No.
This can goes to the crusher.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. And for all you people who love this beer, I apologize, but no.
It's worth a taste.
No.
I have to say that because it's interesting. Was it a good taste? No, not to me, but...
My mouth is burning. Okay, so, no after the beer for this either.
No, I'm done.
All right, we're done.
Well, that about wraps this episode up, but I want to send a special thank you to Sean and Adam from Labyrinth Brewing for coming all the way out here and chatting with us on our podcast. My co-host Nick and I will be back with more brews, news, and reviews right here on Bud's Beer Blurb, the podcast.